Hello, welcome back. Today I want to show you my current project, which is this nice turbofan. Mike Murphy and I did this experiment back in 2009 with a Ren engine, which was very successful. You can see some video footage of it in my Facebook page. I show you the link down below in the description. So this time it is with a brand new engine, the Xicoy X45, with a second stage and a gearbox to drive the fan. This time it is a joint project together with Gaspar SPL for the engine part, Mike Murphy for the gearbox part, and myself for the carbon parts and the general assembly and hopefully flying afterwards. Mike and I did the concept, including the lessons learned of the old one. This is the old shroud, which had suffered a little bit from the heat of the exhaust, so we improved this a little bit. And the general shape of the shroud changed a little bit, making the inlet a little longer and a nicer outer shape. But apart from that, everything is more or less the same, and now it is almost ready for the final assembly. We have here the shroud, which also has an RPM pickup inside, which is the same as you can find on the X45 heli or turboprop engine. So we can measure the RPM for testing and to see how it behaves in flight. Today I want to show you the making of the shroud, which was a work of about 1 week because you always had to wait for a night for the epoxy to dry. Once the concept was set and drawings were made up in the CAD software, it was quite straightforward. Although it's quite long as a video, I hope you will enjoy it. I'm sanding my ribs for the inner of the shroud. This is my inner mold of the shroud, and I'm putting these ribs inside of the different layers of carbon fiber to have some sandwich, and I have made some cutouts here for some carbon liners to make it as a spar to have maximum strength. So I have milled these out of 10mm balsa wood, and I have left the trailing edge a little bit thicker because the grain is vertical to get maximum strength between the layers, and I will sand it the trailing edge off later to be a sharp edge. So I've made this little jig. As it is round, every rib has to be tapered. So I made this little jig, which is wedge shaped, and I can insert each of them inside and sand them to the exact angle how they have to be. So when one is finished, I carefully insert the next one, and thus pushing the sanded one, the finished one out. So I have to be very careful because the grain is vertical, they are very brittle. So here we go, and here we have a finished one which aligns hopefully nicely with the other ones. So I've already done some, so they seem to align nicely. So just try to center them more or less. So on we go. Some 20 more to do, so let's go on. Today I'm doing the inner of the shroud for the fan. I have laid out all what I need. So first is a layer of fiberglass 50 grams, which I always use underneath of carbon because you cannot sand or touch the carbon without weakening it. Then some strands of Kevlar to wrap around the plane where the fan is turning, just in case something would break. So the Kevlar, as it is almost indestructible, it will take care of that. Then some carbon fiber strands to act as a spar all around my shroud. And here are my balsa ribs, which I glued together to give two half shells for ease of assembling it later. So here I have set up my shroud mold. You can see here on my lathe, so it's easier to work with it and turning it around as far as I lay up the different layers. So that's about preparing, so let's go for it. Now a new tape here for the seal of the vacuum plastic. Adding some tape will make it easier afterwards to take it off, because that stuff glues like hell. So ready to go for the vacuum. Fingers crossed there will be no leaks. After letting it cure overnight, I can now take off the plastic and see how the result is. This rubber thing is really tough. I'm not sure if I can use it the second time. We will see. Okay, so here's the result. Everything looks fine, even some epoxy has come through the balsa wood. That's maybe a little heavier, but it's not so bad, because my spar all round will be much stronger, because there is a good connection between the inner layer of the spar and the outer layer. Next step will be to sand the balsa wood a little bit to make it concentric with the inner, and then prepare to have the outer layer of the spar in unidirectional carbon fiber as well. So I'm going to prepare this and see you later. After having peeled off all the tape, I have made a little template out of wood to fix on my lathe with some sandpaper over the surface, which I had milled to shape of the exterior of the shroud. So now I have made another template which gives me the shape of the grooves for my outer layer of the spar. So it looks like this. So you have here it is a little deeper, because I have two layers of carbon fiber. Here is only one. That is where the inside, the guide vanes will be fixed. So I want it to be a little bit stronger there as well. All the rest behind and in front is only to give the shape, but does not have any structural requirements. So now my groove is fine, and I will sand some more off with this template to give it in front and behind the spar, to give it the right shape there as well. Okay, so this is good enough for now, and now preparing for the next epoxy session. Now that it is wet all over, I will make some micro balloons to fill the gaps. So here we go. So that will do for now. I will probably have to add another layer of micro balloons after sanding it next time. So now I apply some more micro balloons on top of it to have something to sand afterwards. Last check. Oh. New one of these. And then I apply my peel ply. This is a special mat with peel ply and you may see this, and the foam or the tissue that lets the air pass, and peel ply combined. So I have only one layer to set. I have torn one little part here clear of the felt bit, because if the felt is gluing onto the epoxy, you won't be able to get it off. So nicely like this, and some tape. Again some this way to avoid it sliding backwards. And the last one. Okay. And ready for the plastic. And don't forget the tube for the vacuum. Almost ready to go. Vacuum pump. Maybe reduce the vacuum a little bit for the beginning. And off we go. Okay, so everything looks fine, nice and quiet. The shape looks almost okay as well. So wait until tomorrow and see how it will be gone. Another day, time to see the result of our yesterday's work. And now the bead ply, which isn't easy either to take off. So once the edges have given, it is pretty easy to take it off. Here is my template, a quick check. Oh, we are pretty close. Probably some more micro balloons to add, and it will be ready for final sanding before applying the outer carbon layer. Now I'm using my shape template again with the sandpaper on it. So now we have a hard surface everywhere because I sanded it before already. And it's a pain if you have to sand a hard surface versus a soft surface with the balsa wood here. So that's why I added some epoxy there as well. So it's just to finish off and see now where the carbon here is still too high or too low, and I will add some micro balloons as needed and sand it afterwards. So this is good enough for now, and I take it off the lathe now, remove the front plate and put it back on again to sand the rest to prepare it for the final layer. I have now taken the front plate off. You see, this is the leading edge of my shroud. It has a little groove here where the leading edge is. So I left the rest of the mold like it was with my piece on it. I only put another ring, a smaller ring, in front of it, so I have the leading edge open so I can sand it and overlap with the outer layer of the carbon. Now I will add a layer of micro balloons putty for all the pieces that are lower than what I need. So perfect is different, but it will be fine for what we need right now. The rest will be all about sanding afterwards. Now my micro balloon is dry, and of course there is again more sanding required until it has the nice shape again, and before I can apply the last carbon layer. So on we go. Okay, so that's enough now, no need to overdo it. The shape is just fine. So ready to prepare for the last carbon layer. And ready to apply onto the fiber. There are a lot of spaces here where the fiber has retracted a little bit, and each brain has become narrower, so the wood and micro balloon from underneath is shining through. So I'm trying to get rid of those by pressing gently and moving a little bit with your finger. The fibers widen again and close those holes. To avoid this, I could have painted the underground black so you wouldn't see them, but I preferred not to do that. It is clear, of course, that the way I'm doing is not the way to do it if you want to make it commercially available, but as it is a one-off for my pleasure, why not giving it a little time? The result is what counts, not the number of hours or the price it might have in the end. The peel ply and the vacuum will do the rest. Okay, new tape. Then our peel ply combined with the vacuum cloth. Okay, plastic. This would be a good place for our hose. And the last few centimeters. Okay, that's about all I can do now. Wait and see after it has dried. Another day. Let's see how our last carbon layer has behaved. Yes, also the leading edge is fine. Okay, so some more sanding ahead and then cutting it to the right length. and taking it off the mold. I have installed my Proxon drill now here to gently cut off the rear, the trailing edge of the shroud. That looks fine so far, so now it's time to take it off the lathe and unmold it. Okay, let's see how it will be inside. Here it is. It came off the mold just fine. The mold is still intact. Now we come to the assembly. This is the stator part, which will be glued inside. And here is the power plant it will go on. This is the Xicoy X45 with a special gearbox which Mike Murphy made for me. And with a fan. This is a Vasi fan which comes from Italy. So the whole will come together like this. And the shroud will be fixed on these 4 struts. So some more hardware to do, and then we will be ready to go. I'm real happy it came out like this. So let's go on. I hope you enjoyed watching, and in the next video I will show you some more details and the making of more parts around it, and hopefully first test run with some measurements to see how it performs. See you in the next video. Bye bye.